Enlightening indeed. I think today is all about paying attention to our health as it is a Tuesday. And earlier we spoke about focusing on teenagers' nutrition. Following on from this, our digestive system health, something that is so important for all of us to know more about. Our digestive system is one of the less discussed areas of wellness, which is crazy considering how important it is, because it is ultimately fundamental, a building block of a healthy body. How do you absorb any of the nutrients that you're taking? And if it's not working properly, every element of our body's function is affected by our stomach function. And the slightest imbalance can throw our entire well-being, lifestyle, even our emotional states out of sync. So here to help us understand the importance of our digestive system is Sean Willard from Relief Pharmaceuticals. Sean, welcome to it.
Great, lovely to be here.
I've got a gut feeling that this is going to be quite an interesting one. It is amazing to me that we don't focus enough on our digestive system. We focus so much on all the other peripheral health kind of systems, but we forget about what is literally in our core. So maybe it's good for us to start at the core. What does the digestive system actually do, if you had to oversimplify?
Yeah, Graham, first of all, thanks so much for allowing me to be here. I think
Awesome,
let's start with clarifying what is the digestive system, because sometimes it's a bit of an unknown. As you say, it's an inside job, right? So, so if we look at possibly the alimentary canal as one division, one part of it, and then on the other side we've got accessory organs, things like your pancreas, your gallbladder, and your liver. So together they function to both digest and absorb. And when we look at digestion as a whole, it's also divided into two parts, both chemical and mechanical digestion. So as the food comes in, it starts through a mechanical process as well as a chemical process with enzymes, etc. And then once that's been digested, obviously the particles are small enough to be absorbed. So that's when it gets taken into the bloodstream and gets to the cells where it needs to work.
So it doesn't matter how healthy your diet is, if you aren't able to absorb those nutrients, then what is the point? I think so many people are affected by an imbalance in their digestive system in some way. How can an unhealthy or an irregular digestive system exhibit? What are some of the ill effects?
Yeah, so having said digestion and absorption, if we're not digesting, we're not absorbing the nutrients, right? So that's the first thing. But I think we've all been in that situation where we've had that untoward eating meal at night that's left us feeling a little bit worse for wear. Maybe we've had a spicy meal late at night, last thing in the evening, and we are not sleeping during the evening. We're waking up all the time. Potentially maybe that lovely donut, that jam donut, and then that sugar high as well as a sugar crash. So these things can all affect the lifestyle, and I think probably the most important is our bowel habits. Unfortunately, again, it's a subject we don't often speak about.
It's part of daily life.
Absolutely, 100%. So eating incorrectly and not having a digestive system that's functioning optimally can obviously lead to things like abdominal pain, constipation, and various other things.
We'll get into IBS being a massive condition in the second part of our chat this morning, but you speak to anyone who's had a prolonged irregularity or something going wrong with their digestive system and the knock-on effect, and they will tell you it's serious business. Even something like heartburn, something that we laugh off. If you've experienced it at an extreme, it can be really, really hectic. Why is it so important, and how can we focus on the healthy side? We know the negative ill effects, but we often do it as once it's too late, we focus on it. How can we preemptively look after our gut?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Again, I say it's an inside job. I think out of sight, out of mind, right? And yet, ironically, what's happening out of sight is obviously impacting our mind. And what we have found is that there's a gut-brain, almost a bi-directional conduit or highway of information that's taking place between our gut and our brain, as well as from our brain to our gut. So me sitting here for the first time on television, I might have butterflies flying, not in formation. I might feel a little nauseous at times. We talk about gut-wrenching experiences. We talk about the kind of nervousness. So it's all connected, and I think taking care of obviously our digestion is imperative to our mood, to the way we feel, to the way we optimally function cognitively as well. So both ways it works.
It's the reason why you get hangry, people. There's a reason why we get hangry. We're going to get into some of the illnesses attached to the gut, in particular IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I know so many people are suddenly still taking notice now of what we're talking about, but thank you so much, Sean, for joining us this morning. We're going to turn our focus to IBS in just a moment.